Cool. So my name is Bryan and I'm one of the partners of Poleish Sports, which invented Bottle Bash, the game that we sell all across the country to sporting goods stores, online, and that's the game that you see today out there.
Okay, so what is Bottle Bash? Like, how do you even play the game of Bottle Bash?
Bottle Bash started out as almost a college game that we used to play. We used to use ski poles and beer bottles, and the object was you take your frisbee and try to throw it at the opponent's bottle or pole and try to knock it off. It'll be all based around a point system: 2 points for a drop bottle, 1 point for a drop disc, and first to 21 wins. And so really the concept of Bottle Bash came about when I met my business partner, who is a longtime entrepreneur, started a couple companies and sold them before me, and I actually introduced it to him. And from there we just kind of started tossing around ideas about how the game would be really cool to be able to go out there and sell it. And we started doing some looking around and realized that nobody had really done anything with the game yet. So at that point we started to kind of formulate the idea and kind of build out what the game set was going to look like. And and then Bottle Bash was kind of formed. Yeah, so
that's from Poleish Sports?
Yeah, so it's funny because everybody kind of gets a little bit confused about that. We started out by selling it as Poleish Sports, and the only reason that we could do that was because the other name that we wanted to use was trademarked. So by having Poleish Sports, people understood that name. That was the grassroots, the college version was Polish Horseshoes. And so what we did is we based the company around Poleish Sports, and that's what we called the game. And then a year or two later, we announced that it was Bottle Bash. So it's Poleish Sports Bottle Bash, and everything under Poleish Sports, or every other game that we do would be under Poleish Sports, based around the pole concept.
Right, okay.
So that's how it kind of took form and ended up being Bottle Bash, and then the company being Poleish Sports. 2008 and 2009 is when we really started to develop the idea. At that point, we filed for a provisional patent because we had realized that there was actually some IP that we could basically go and secure. So we did that, and from there we started to build out the game set. And really, so we had a game set that we built about 500-600 sets. That was, if you want to call it, the beta version, the first version that we ever built, and it was pretty brutal. It served some functions and it fixed certain problems that we had looked at the regular glass bottle and a ski pole and tried to fix some of that, but it certainly wasn't like the game is today, where then we went back and we got a lot of customer feedback and like friends and family used it.
Criticism.
Oh yeah, we noticed a lot of stuff about the game that we needed to change just based on watching people use it. I mean, a simple thing is we used to have a telescoping pole, almost like a hiking pole.
Right. Yeah.
But we took that hiking pole and we used it as our poles for the game. But when you took it out of context, people didn't realize that it was the same. It worked the same as a hiking pole or a trekking pole. And they didn't figure out, they didn't realize how the pole would basically
break apart.
Yeah, break apart or get longer. And we thought that was a slam dunk, but obviously it wasn't. So those are little things that we kind of picked up on that we changed around to the game set that it is now. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really a game where you can either take it, you can buy it and go to the backyard, like you're saying, a backyard party. You can go camping with it because it collapses down. It's fairly light. You can go to the beach. We found that tailgates and like college events, people love to break it out, and they end up playing all day with it. So that's really the market. It's really outdoor tailgate market is where we really shine.
Yeah.
So.
And you're a Plymouth State alumni, right?
I am. Yeah.
Correct.
So I graduated from Plymouth State in 2007. I was a graphic design major, and when I graduated, I actually got a job in sales. Working for my father-in-law, believe it or not. Where 2 years later, he ended up not firing me, he let me go. The economy went bad, and we kind of shifted directions. And I learned a lot in sales, which has actually helped me now. But now what I do with Bottle Bash, I do a lot of graphic design. So the graphic design has really come back into what I do on a day-to-day basis, from packaging to posters to social media to really whatever we need. We don't really need, the nice thing is we don't have to outsource it to anybody. So if we want to make changes, we make them right then and there. It's easy. Yeah, it's easy to do. So I found that, honestly, that, at first when I left college, I was like, shoot, I'm not even using my major. I mean, I went to school and obviously, and I did all of that, but I never actually used my major, and now I do quite a bit. And I actually used the job that I learned a lot from my father-in-law. He taught me a ton about sales, and sales It's a really, really
really,
difficult.
yeah, competitive.
Yeah, I mean, it is super competitive, and it's a tough thing to do to communicate with somebody, and especially somebody who doesn't always want to take a sales call. So how do you get around that, and how do you navigate that? And he kind of taught me how to do all of that, and I really had no idea what that was like before, when I was in school. I'd never done anything with sales. So it's funny because I actually think that, like, having the deli, my parents, they started that 45, 6 something years ago. And they also started Chase Street Market in the 90s. So that was new, and I was in high school then. Obviously had it when I was in college. But the town connection, going to Plymouth State, then having my parents be local, me starting a business locally, I mean, you wouldn't believe how many, like, network opportunities that I've run into being able to be local, to build a business locally. I mean, there were little things like shipping. Everybody thinks, well, shipping is not that difficult. There's so many little things to know about shipping and how to do it effectively that recently the local UPS store, our friend, passed away, but he had originally helped me almost get off the ground. I mean, I had no idea how to navigate UPS or even deal with freight, I had no idea. And it's little things like that save you time, and people that have already kind of had that experience can help you through. And I had so many tight connections with people here that they really, if I had a question and I knew somebody that was kind of in that industry, whether it be graphic design or shipping or sales, I was able to connect with those people and kind of figure out how to do it better or how to do it all together.
Right.
So it to me, it's
kind of really started off your
I mean, the amount of, like, I go back, the amount of connections that I've been able to make just through those two businesses has been massive and huge. So cool. It's cool.
And is there a message behind the game of Bottle Bash you would like to tell the viewers? Like,
yeah, I think Bottle Bash is a couple different things. I mean, it's coming from a guy that never took a business class, that I wasn't really interested in starting a business in college. I didn't have any sort of motivation to do that. But I think, like, the vision behind Bottle Bash was a lot more than it's just a game to me. It's a huge learning experience for me. It was almost, somebody asked me, well, don't you think you should go back and get your MBA? And I was like, well, I feel like I've already got it to a certain degree. I'm learning everything as I go, but I'm forced to learn. I'm right in the middle of it. So that's been huge for me, and the company has been doing extremely well. We've been picked up by large retailers like Dick's Sporting Goods. We're in about 2,000 stores across the country now. Hoping to work into Canada next year. We're already in there online, but would love to get some stores up there. That would be great, and really just start growing the business. We're going to be bringing on 2 new products in 2018, which excited to bring those on and have people see them, play with them, and they go really well with our game. So I think companies just, I think, an experience that people can, or maybe like a mark that people can go out there and they can build something that maybe they didn't think that they could do. And that's Poleish Sports, that's Bottle Bash for me. It's just something I was so passionate about that nothing really got in my way. I just kind of, I was so psyched on it and so pumped on the game and the product that I just kind of figured it out. And so, so that's 2 things. It's been a huge stepping stone, huge learning process, huge motivational piece for me, and it's a great company too. So 2 great things to pull from it.
Where is it you wanna go? Where is it you wanna go? Where is it you wanna go? Where is it you wanna